Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to the class of Introduction to Human Resource Management. Yes, students, one of the most crucial responsibilities in the domain of human resource management is ensuring that employees have the necessary knowledge, skills, and attitudes to perform their jobs effectively. This process, known as training, Training is not just about teaching employees how to do a task, it is about developing their capabilities, improving their performance, and preparing them to take on greater responsibilities in the future. In today's rapidly changing work environment where technology, customer expectations, and competition evolve constantly, organizations that invest in continuous employee training gain a significant competitive advantage. Today, we will discuss three key aspects of this topic, that is, training employees, the types of training, and the various techniques used to conduct training in the organizations. Training can be defined as a systematic process of improving an employee's knowledge, skills, and behavior to perform a specific job effectively. It is a planned effort by the organization to help the employees learn job related competencies. Training serves several purposes. For instance, it helps the new employees to understand their roles and responsibilities. It improves the efficiency and productivity of existing employees. It ensures adaptability, enabling employees to keep up with the new technologies, policies, and the methods. It enhances employee satisfaction and morale, reducing the overall turnover rate. And not only this, it also supports the organization's strategic goals by aligning employee capabilities with the business needs. For example, when a new software system is introduced in a company, employees may not know properly how to use it. Proper training helps them to learn quickly and perform their work efficiently, thus minimizing the errors and resistance to change. In short, training is not an expense. It is an investment in human capital that yields long-term benefits. Dear students, the main objectives of trainings are several in number. The very first objective is to bridge the gap between the current performance and the desired performance. To update employees' knowledge and technical skills. Again, this is an objective. The third objective is to update the employees' knowledge and technical skills. Then to develop positive attitudes and teamwork. Then to prepare the employees for further roles and promotions. And finally, to ensure compliance with safety, legal, or ethical standards. For instance, a manufacturing company may train its workers in safety procedures to reduce workplace accidents and meet regulatory requirements. Now, there are several types of trainings, and these several types can be categorized in several ways depending upon the purpose, target group, and the timing. Let's look at some of the most common types of employee trainings. The very first is induction or orientation training. This is the initial training given to new employees to help them understand the organization's culture, structure, policies, and their specific job responsibilities. For example, new hires in a bank may be given a 1-week induction program to learn about the bank's code of conduct, safety rules, and customer service standards. The second, the type of training is job training. Job training focuses on teaching employees the skills and the knowledge required for their current job roles. For example, a data entry operator learning how to use a new database software. This type of training ensures that employees can perform their daily tasks accurately and efficiently. The third type is the safety training. The safety training educates employees on how to avoid accidents and work safely in the workplace. For example, in a construction company, workers are trained on how to use safety gear and handle equipment properly. Then we have another type, that is the refresher training. It is provided to existing employees to update their knowledge or revise old skills. For example, a sales team receiving an annual workshop on new selling techniques or updated company products. Then comes the internship kind of a training, that is a combination of on-the-job training and classroom instruction, usually for technical or the skilled trades. It allows employees to learn under the guidance of experienced workers. For example, electricians, plumbers, and machinists often undergo like in such kind of programs. Then we have another kind of training, that is the promotional or the developmental training. This type of training prepares employees for a higher level of responsibilities or promotions. For example, a supervisor may be trained in leadership and communication before being promoted to a managerial role. So, these were some types. And finally, we have another type as well, that is the remedial training. When an employee is not performing well due to the lack of knowledge or skill, this kind of remedial training is conducted to improve the performance and bring them up to the required standard. Now, there are some techniques of the training. Training can be conducted using a variety of techniques. These techniques are usually divided into two broad categories, that is the on-the-job training and off-the-job training. On-the-job training techniques on-the-job training technique means learning while actually doing the job. Employees gain experience under the supervision of seniors or trainers. This is one of the most practical and cost-effective methods of training. For instance, we have the very first type of on-the-job training is job instruction training, or abbreviated as JIT. This method involves a step-by-step demonstration of how a job is done, followed by a supervised practice. For example, a factory worker being shown on how to operate a machine and then practicing under the supervision. Then comes coaching, in which a supervisor or a senior employee provides continuous guidance and feedback to the trainee. For example, a sales manager coaching new sales representatives on how to handle customers effectively. Mentoring. Mentoring is a more personalized form of training where an experienced employee, a mentor, supports the career and personal development of a junior employee. For example, a senior HR manager mentoring a new HR officer on handling recruitment or employee grievances. Let us discuss about job rotation as well. Here, employees are rotated among different jobs or departments to give them broader experience and understanding of the organization. For example, a management trainee spending time in marketing, finance, and operations to gain a holistic view of the business. Now, let's head on to off-the-job training techniques. Off-the-job training takes place away from the actual workplace. Employees attend lectures, workshops, simulations, or other activities that are designed to improve their knowledge and skills without the pressure of the work duties. The traditional method of the job training involves formal presentations to communicate theoretical knowledge to a large group. For example, a seminar on labor laws or workplace ethics for HR staff. Then we have a second method, that is the case studies. Employees are given real or hypothetical business simulations to analyze and solve. This develops analytical and decision-making skills. For example, MBA trainings discussing a case about a company's marketing failure and suggesting solutions. Then we have a third type of off-the-job training, that is role-playing, where participants act out roles in a simulated kind of a situation to develop interpersonal and communication skills. And finally, we have a dedicated off-the-job training technique, that is the simulation and the business games. This technique uses models or computerized programs that imitate real work situations. For example, pilots use flight simulators, managers use business simulation software to test decision making under different conditions. And finally, we have a fifth type, that is e-learning and online training. With advancements in the technology, many organizations use online courses such as video modules and virtual classrooms for training. This allows flexibility and cost saving. For example, employees completing cybersecurity awareness courses through an online platform. Now let us discuss the effectiveness and evaluating the effectiveness of these training programs. Trainings should not end with the delivery sessions. It is essential to evaluate whether the training has actually achieved its goals or not. Now, evaluation of the training programs can be done by assessing the participants, their feedback, reactions, and measuring changes in the knowledge or skill levels. Also, by making observation of their whether they did make any improvement in their job performance or not. And finally, comparing the organization results before and after the training. So this is how it actually works. For example, if a customer service training was conducted, management can measure success by tracking customer satisfaction scores before and after the training program. Now, there are several benefits of employee training. Effective training programs can benefit both the organization and employees in a number of ways. For instance, it can increase the productivity and efficiency, reducing errors and accidents, improving employee morale and job satisfaction, lowering turnover and absenteeism, building a strong talent pipeline for future positions, and enhancing the company's reputation as a learning organization. Dear students, to conclude, training employees is one of the most vital functions of human resource management. It ensures that the workplace remains competent, motivated, and adaptable in a constantly changing environment. By choosing the right type of training and applying the most suitable techniques, organizations can enhance both individual and organizational performance. A well trained employee not only performs their job better, but also contributes to innovation, teamwork, and the overall success of organization. Therefore, continuous learning and development should be seen not as one-time event, but as an ongoing process that supports growth at every level of the organization. Thank you.